Welcome back. Today's video will be about Metasploit Automation. Now, this video will be the last video in the Metasploit framework series. In the previous videos, guys, we talked about how to use Metasploit for beginners, how to use the modules, how to look up terms, exploits, payloads, modules, whatsoever. And we explained some sample case scenarios, how to evade antivirus detection. In this video, guys, we will be talking about a section that is not frequently mentioned in the Metasploit community. So basically, guys, it is automation. So when you have repetitive work with Metasploit and you create the same listener or the same payloads occasionally and frequently, it's going to be tiring and time-consuming to repeat that over and over again. You want to save time. So for that, we're gonna teach you how to use Metasploit automation, right? So basically here, let's say, let's make a directory here. Make directory and rename it listeners. Okay. Now in listeners, let's go to that directory. Oh, I named it wrong, right? Okay. So make directory and see the listeners. Okay. So from here, let's say we are using like bind shells, reverse shells, Meterpreter listeners, right? So instead of going to Metasploit and let me open a new terminal here. Okay. And let's take it to desktop. Okay. So now, whenever you create a payload, you need to set up a listener, right? So use exploit multi-handler. And then you go over the steps, right? Set payload, set lhost, lport. Now, what if you need to do that more than 5 times, 6 times a day? Your life is going to be a nightmare, right? You're going to lose so much time. So instead, what we can do, guys, is we go back to, we create a directory called listeners, and we create, let's say, this Meterpreter TCP RC, right? So this script will be for setting up Meterpreter reverse TCP listener. Okay, so here we put out everything we do. We used to do manually here, right? So everything we put set, use exploit multi-handler, set payload, Meterpreter, whatsoever. What we need to do, guys, is we go back and we put them here line by line, and so we can invoke them. So let's say use exploit multi-handler, set payload, let's say for Windows, meter reverse TCP, right? Okay, set lhost. Let's say if you have a static IP or if you use the same testing machine every time, you put the IP address here, 133, set lport, it's going to be 1006, and the rest of the lines rely solely on the purpose of the listener and the purpose of your attack. If you are testing some kind of like PHP web application vulnerability and want to gain a remote command shell to the web application, so what you have to do now, you have to stop here and put exploit -j -z so you can listen to connections all the time. Okay, all right, but this is for Windows. Now, it's stupid to say it's for PHP, of course, but I'm telling you guys how to plan your script according to the purpose. Now, in my case, this is a script for Windows. So here, most probably, the next step will be configuring the encoders. Set enable stage encoding true, and here set auto. Okay, we don't want to put auto scripts for now. So we set the encoder, stage encoder. Now the stage encoder here needs to match the same encoder you created when you used MSF Venom, right? So MSF Venom, and you put the encoder here, right? x86, etc., right? The same encoder needs to be the same here. So set stage encoder, and we put, let's say, suppose we are testing x86 architecture, we put x86, and in my case, I like to use XOR dynamic. And lastly, set exit on session false. You want to be connected all the time to the listener, right? And exploit JZ. Then you save it. And now, how to launch the script? We need to go to MSF console prompt, and from here we put let's previous. Okay. So we can launch the script from here. No, I think it's better to launch it from a separate terminal. Okay, so we go to separate terminal and sudo MSF console. That's how we launch the script. Or let's go to the script path. Or let's from here. Okay, I'm complicating things, I know. So sudo MSF console -r, and we put the name of the script. So in this case, it's Meterpreter TCP/RC. Password. Let's see what happens. So it's starting the Metasploit framework, and failed to load module exploit multi-handler. Let's see why. Let's go back. But all the other stuff has been set. But since the multi-handler has not been initiated, then we need to go back and check what we did wrong. So we end, exit, clear, use exploit multi-handler, not handler. I know. Sometimes stuff, mistakes happens. The simplest errors. Okay, let's launch again and see if the tasks have been automated. Great. So now the listener, as you can see, has been created, and you are ready to send your payload to the testing machine, guys. Now, a good rule of thumb, guys, let's go back to the directory we have, and we go to desktop, listeners. Okay, so here we have Meterpreter TCP/RC. I think it's better to rename this from Meterpreter TCP into TCP/RC. Let's name it to Windows, right? Meterpreter TCP/RC. As I told you guys, if you are working with Metasploit more than 6 times, 7 times a day, you need to make like scripts to automate your tasks. So basically here I make one script for automating Windows listeners for Windows payloads. So we can as well do the same for all kinds of payloads. So if we go to MSF Venom and list the payloads, okay. So here, let's say that, oh my God, how many payloads? Okay, so we have for Android, for Apple. Okay. So basically, suppose that you are testing or doing penetration, mobile penetration testing, and you're gonna use this payload, like right? You can use this payload more than 6-7 times a day for 6-7 machines. So we're gonna copy that, and we go back, clear, nano, Android. What is going wrong with my English today? Android, and then Meterpreter TCP RC. Okay, so here use exploit multi-handler set payload. Now your payload is changed. Android Meterpreter reverse TCP. Set lhost the same. Set lport. Change the port because the previous port is being loosened on right now, so it's currently in use, cannot be used more than one time for other listeners. So we put 1007, and we cannot apply the, let's enable the stage encoding. Okay, let's enable stage encoding true. And here, let's say that, or let's keep it the same. Don't want to complicate things on you guys. So exit on session false exploit. Save. How many we have? So we have two, one for Android and one for Windows. Let's go back, exit, clear, sudo msf cancel Android, launch. So now it will set up Android. Uh, exit. Let's go back and see what has gone wrong. Nano Android. Use exploit multi-handler set payload Android Meterpreter reverse TCP set lhost. Okay, it might be this. So my Android listener is not being launched. And the reason is not clear. Do you have a clue for this? Okay. So I think we have mixed things up between MS Venom and multi-handler. So basically here, let's go back to MSF console. Let's launch MSF console from separate prompt. Okay, search, type, payload, name, Meterpreter. Let's go up, 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 up. Okay, Android, Meterpreter, reverse TCP. I'm checking if the payloads match. Android, Meterpreter, reverse TCP. So they match. Why is our listener not being created? Well, I'm clueless now. If config, yep. I exit here and launch from here. I know it's stupid, but I need to try. Very weird. Okay, let's go back. Get rid of the shell, Meterpreter. Okay. Let me exit here and launch this one. Let's launch back the Windows one. Oh, the same response. I don't know what does that mean, but we got totally different response 2 minutes ago. Um, Four three two 432. I'm trying to see if there is conflict with the ports. Let's go up. Here, let me change something. Actually, this worked 2 minutes ago, and now it's something weird. I don't know. Clear. I'm gonna try last time, but you get the idea, guys. Sometimes you set up like you have to create too many listeners at the same time, more than one time, for more than like 6 or 7 machines. So it is inevitable for the effectivity of your penetration testing conduct to create listeners, the scripts, so you can automate the task every time. I'm gonna try last time. Ah, I think I found what's wrong here. Today I'm kind of, drunk. I don't know why. Android. I forgot the fucking R. No, okay. So as you can see, the Android listener has been created as well. You can do the same for all kinds of payloads and listeners. So what if you want to automate not creating the listeners, but creating the payloads and the exploits? What if you have a specific exploit that you want to test on, um, let's say 7, 10 machines, right? So let's see how we can do that. We go back, cd make directory exploits. Okay, now cd exploits, and let's put here, let's launch a new terminal. Let's see what's the exploit that we will be using for more than 6 times. And let's put here nano okay, search type exploit name iOS. Let's hack iOS. Okay, so here, let's pick whatever we are about to test. Let me pick this, exploit Linux HTTP, format string, this is average. Okay, let me pick this. Apple iOS, okay. So here put Apple. Okay, Apple SSH, Apple SSH vulnerable exploit, RC. Okay. So here, the first thing, guys, we need to to do, guys, is to set the same thing we used to do manually. We need to do that here in one file and execute it. So normally when we do that, we go to MSF console and we put use exploit, right? So we're gonna do that here, the same thing. So use, and let's paste it. Let's go back, see the options. What are the options here? Okay, only these, info. Apple iOS default SSH password vulnerability, exploits. But I need to put rhost. Okay, basic options, rhost, rport. Yeah, so set, so we go back, set rhosts. Let's consider that you are doing pen testing for a complete network, 192.168.94.0/24. Set rport 22. Let's go back. Okay. So what we need to do here as well, to set the exit on session false, and here exploit -j -z. Okay, now we save this. Okay, we have it. So you take this exploit, or you take this script, guys, and you launch it on, like, how many machines you have? 10, 4, 6, 100. All you have to do, go back to the exploit and change the address and execute. So sudo msf console r apple. So I'm assuming that we are doing the pen testing for the first machine. As you can see, the script is running right now on all the network. I'm not gonna complete with this. Stop, stop. Okay. Stop, man, come on. Okay. All right, guys, so you have it now. If you have any questions, drop me the questions in the comment box, and thank you so much.